Good evening and welcome to another edition of WorldWideChels presents Uncle Jester's Barbecue. I'm your host with the most, Uncle Jester's. I'm surprised. Surrounded by sausages tonight. We have a all sausage party tonight.
Do you want to try that intro again, Jared? My God.
Yeah, we got sausages up top. We got sausages to the right, and
I got Jared fumbling fucking jokes. I got Shanath fumbling fucking jokes. Matt, This is the Goon Squad tonight. We got the Goon Squad up in this piece.
Oh, it's straight guys tonight. So put your hard hats on because it's gonna get deep.
Oh yeah, that's what she said.
Well, it's just us guys here. You can go that way. 3 weeks of no signings. Oh no, the world's coming to an end. We're only making
Everyone's
probably 2 more signings. Caicedo and Cherki.
All right,
that's about to be it. So
let's have it right. Oh, this fucking disciple of the jabroni himself, Matt. This fucking Mooly H, Johnny Jr., Elements Jr., this jabroni. We are signing more kids. So, Jared, how are you today?
I'm wonderful. This is my first day of vacation, man. I don't go back to work till the Monday after this upcoming Monday.
What's the special occasion?
I just needed to recharge.
Yeah, I did that all last week and the week before, man. It's beautiful.
So I'm having a little staycation here. I'm going to go see my new grandson sometime next week, but that's about it. So,
Matty Ball, fraudulent Ball, finally made some time for us after moving 5 minutes from his old location. How you doing, man?
He had to change street corners.
Technically, it's 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Let's get it right. But I'm good. It's internet's finally sorted out, so I can come on, and I have the freedom of not having other people telling me when and when I can't come on if it's too late. So it's good to be back on the stream. Of course, the best stream, which is the one without Sadiq. But it is fantastic to be on the barbecue and listen to all these Americans chat shit.
Well, hey, let me tell you something, man.
Hey. We have a Canadian over here.
I know, and I'm saving him for last. He's our second favorite Canadian. Matt Ball, you can come on the fucking barbecue anytime you want. See, I'm not like Sadiq. I'm not a gatekeeper. And I don't.
Hey, wait a minute. Sadiq wouldn't let you come on?
I don't allow lesser people on and keep Matt Ball on the sidelines. I put Matt Ball at left wing. He's playing left fucking wing for this stream, baby. All right? I'm gonna spray him balls all game. Spray balls, Matt Ball. You can come on anytime you want. Last but not least, we got our second favorite Canadian guy from America's hat. He loves maple syrup, and he loves the parliamentary process of responsible government and party discipline. How you doing, Shanath?
Doing wonderful. First and foremost, thanks for that lovely intro. Mm-hmm. And second of all, I hope we have some nice hot sauce.
We got some spice.
Yeah. I saw the video. Anyone saw the video from Hurricane? The Wings of Death?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was hilarious.
Guys, the guy was sweating. I wish we have that kind of a barbecue sauce over here. And I think we do have today. Right, Jared?
Say again. We got some of the by Harry Kane?
No, I said we have some of the hot sauce over here for the barbecue, right?
Oh, yeah. I had some hot sauce for lunch on the enchiladas, homemade chicken enchiladas. Those were good, man. I'm telling you what, a little bit of Tex-Mex today. Had some homemade chicken fried steak for dinner. Man, I'm eating good.
Jared, boy, at your age, you're going to have to drink a couple Ensures after that to get regular, my dog.
Nah, everything flows good. Good.
Matt, is this Steve, our Steve right here?
I don't actually know.
Massacua.
Link? If you're not on the show, you ain't getting no fucking link.
Oh, my God.
Oh, look at the hate. If we don't get Caicedo by Monday, Liverpool will get him. Liverpool are not.
What is all this shit about Liverpool coming in?
No, they're not.
It's on for Caicedo.
No one wants Caicedo apart from us. The only reason we don't get this is if Brighton quote us a ridiculous price, which even the 100
it's being worked out.
Yeah,
I'm going to say it comes in around 90.
I mean,
All right.
I am the most pessimistic person on the planet, partly because I am British.
Thank
and
you.
when I'm saying, guys, chill, Caicedo is coming, just chill the fuck out and listen.
Yeah, I'm not worried about this one, man. This is gonna if the rubber meets the road, he will flat out put in a transfer request because he's gone on. I mean, Matt, I'm actually baffled that he did this. We can start with Caicedo, but I'd rather start with Lukaku. But
Okay.
you know what? We will start with Lukaku, but I'll just say the Caicedo video. I was actually shocked he did that, but good on him to do that. But the first thing we got to start with is the biggest fraud in the game, and I'm not talking about Matt Ball. I'm talking about Lukaku, right? This guy changes his lifelong allegiance every fucking week. Every week. And first it's Inter till I die. Inter till I die. Then he's like, I got unfinished business at Chelsea. 2 months into Chelsea, it's Inter till I die. Goes back to Inter, doesn't start for most of the season. Gets chosen to sit on the bench for an Argentine striker, Lautaro Martinez, who's much better than him, and then Edin Dzeko, who is older than Jared. And so Lukaku then this summer, right, they're just trying to negotiate with us. We want around 45 million euros, and Lukaku's getting difficult, bringing in Jay-Z and Rock Nation to try and stir the pot. And lo and behold, Matt Ball, today, an hour ago, the thing that made me sprint out of my office, Lukaku is interested in Juventus, and Juventus has made a bid. 40 million total euros. Matt Ball, are you even remotely surprised at the disingenuous nature of Lukaku's fake honor, fake Inter fandom?
Well, I mean, he kisses the badge of every club he goes to. It's not a surprise. I mean, Serenaf sent a good quote in from the infamous interview that he made. He said, if Juventus or AC Milan call me in the future, never again. It's never going to happen. Juventus wanted me before Inter, but when Conte joined Inter, it was my priority to join them. In Italy, there's only one, and it's Inter for me. And he's about to go to Juventus, potentially. So there is no loyalty in this guy. Inter Milan fans shouldn't be surprised. They've been burnt, kind of like how we were, but at least with us, there wasn't so many fans assuming that he's going to be great. I mean, these Inter fans have loved him.
You and I didn't.
Loved him again. So hopefully, I mean, I can't wait for the guy to go. I don't want to sell to Inter just out of principle. Yeah. And there's other clubs interested, so I'd even accept less. I'd do a Tottenham with Modric, accept less money just to Juventus, just to let him go.
Yeah, but aren't we going in the opposite direction now that we have a bidding war?
Yeah, it's not. Inter put up their bid to, I think, 35 million euros plus 5 million add-ons, which is about-ish what we want. So that would be a bid that technically I might accept, but I wouldn't accept Inter Milan just out of principle.
Shernath, I'll go to you last because you're the world's biggest Lukaku hater, but I'll go to Jared first. Jared, a lot is happening. Inter is now pissed, right? Because they thought that Lukaku was their guy, right? Inter till I die. And everyone else is sitting back going, he is nobody's guy. This guy lives for no one but himself. And so are you surprised that all of a sudden Juventus is like, shit, let's do this?
No. It's like the jailhouse bitch. He's always walking from one pocket to another. And so, he just went from Inter's pocket to Juventus' pocket.
Jesus.
And, if that's how he rolls, that's how he rolls. But it's sooner or later, it's going to bite you in the ass one way or another.
That was vivid imagery by you, Mr. Haster. Very vivid imagery. So, all right, we'll go to the main man, the number one hater, Silky Johnston, player hater of the year, Shernath, my dude. What do you got? Because any Lukaku news, this is a little peek behind the curtain. Any Lukaku news, Shernath DMs me. Like immediately, Shernath DMs me. Any Lukaku news. So, and I love it. Shernath, the world is your oyster.
First and foremost, I'd like to say there is no honor among thieves. Inter was a thief in selling Lukaku for 97 mil just to take him back on a loan and start cribbing about, oh, I don't have enough money to pay, and Lukaku still wants us. Well, now Lukaku wants Juventus, and Juventus is prepared to pay the money, and Lukaku is vanished in thin air. Wow, ain't that a surprise? My God. And that too, we got a better deal with Juventus, honestly. 37.5 million upfront and 2.5 million bonus. And let's face the fact, 2.5 million from Juventus is more of a guarantee than a 5 million from Inter Milan, who is broke and always cribbing, always crying. And this is the club who is willing to sell Onana, whom they got for literally almost free of charge, for 50 million, and have the audacity to come and say that they don't have enough money. I mean, whose balls are you showing? Man, oh. Sorry for my language.
No. We encourage vulgarity here. We're American.
I think that was a little light after what I said.
Yeah, and even more so, we're from the South.
This is the uncensored. You can say
Jared
what
and
you
I
want.
are from the South.
Chelsea after dark.
Yeah, brother, come on.
This is more like, the richest going behind the richest man. The richest going behind the richest man. That's how I see this happening. And man, I just want to see this done and dusted. And I'd love to see Inter Milan cry like bitches.
Sterling's son, or now Nkunku's son, right? Yeah! There he is! There he is! Yeah! All right, formerly the moniker Sterling's son, now the moniker Nkunku's son. My guy, KJ, what's up, buddy?
Oh, I'm feeling good. Can't complain. I'm here. I'm riding the BBQ with my apron on.
Dude,
Sup,
that was
thank
a
you, Justice,
fucking
for having me.
classy intro. Wow.
No, I hope you guys are good. Thank you again, once again, for having me, man. Let's get cooking. Let's get cooking. Just
You know what KJ texted me? Matt, you know what KJ texted me? And I'm not betraying confidence to this. He goes, I now make plans to come on the barbecue because I don't want other people to come on. I fucking love that about KJ. He's now hooked. He's hooked on the wings, man. KJ, our first topic, sort of a bombshell about 90 minutes ago, bro. We got Lukaku now interested in Juventus, and Juventus has bid 37.5 plus add-ons, little over 40. And it's a twofold thing, right? It's a twofold thing because, number one, great. Bidding war, we're going to hike up the price, right? Here's the other problem, though, AJ, and this is my apprehension. This is my concern. Why are they so interested in getting rid of VLAHOVIC and replacing him with what I consider to be one of the worst players in Europe? What's going on there? And first and foremost, welcome, and I am glad about Lukaku now getting a bidding war because I want some of my fucking money back.
It's as simple as this, man. Juventus are looking for an experienced, strong attacker or center forward that can lead their line next year. They don't trust VLAHOVIC because, unfortunately for him, he's young and he hasn't really had the best of spells at Juventus, but that's just because I believe he's been mishandled. And for some reason, they value Lukaku as someone that can take them to that next level. Whether that is just his agents feeding them nonsense or it's the players somehow wiggling his way into their scouting system, we don't know, but I don't give a damn. I don't care a damn because if there's a bidding war for this dude who we know is so bad at football, I'll take it, man. 37.5 with add-ons to a snake that said he would never play for Juventus. I'll take it any day of the week, baby.
I can't wait for him to kiss the Juventus badge. I love it. I will send it to every one of my Inter Milan followers. Just kissing the badge.
Well, Matt, let me throw this at you, right? Because, there's this movie called Lawrence of Arabia, right? And in it, T.E. Lawrence, who's played by Peter O'Toole, he puts his hand over a flame, right? And he lets his hand burn over the flame. And the guy says, Lawrence, what's the trick? What's the trick? Mr. Potter, what's the trick? He goes, the trick, Mr. Potter, is not minding that it hurts. So there's no trick. He just has tolerance for this. Now, with me, I'm looking at the Lukaku situation, and this has burned us from a PR perspective, from a financial perspective. However, you also have to divide the transfer fee that we have made, which was, I think, like 115 mil. You got to divide it by 5 because it's a 5-year contract. So you got to take away probably about 45 mil, maybe 50 mil of that deal, right? So that leaves us with around 65 million. You take away 12.5 from the loan fee, you're left with around 53 million. Okay, maybe 52 million. All right. If we can get 40 out of what we could look at from the aggregate, what we should have gotten if he had played well, 52, I am willing to part ways with the 12 million that we're not going to be able to recoup because he's a bad player. And I am not minding, like Lawrence, that this hurts because his wages are so high, 325,000 per week, and because he's so terrible. So I'm fine with not getting on paper the extra 12 million that would make us whole financially if we can get 40 out of this deal. And I don't mind that it hurts because to me it doesn't hurt. I think he sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
that analogy hurt.
That analogy was fucking great. You would have never thought of that, Jared. You know that.
Because I don't ever. Lawrence of Arabia was out before we were even born. Before I was born.
No account for taste, Jared. What do you got, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them. It's one of them things with Lukaku. You bin him off as soon as possible. I mean, people saying, "Oh, you're losing 60 million," but people don't understand that all of these FFP stuff is done by books, and your value depreciates over time. And as I said, we haven't had much of Lukaku in the last 2 years, but we've had Lukaku for 2 years, so technically his value does decrease, as in exactly how you said. So I would just get rid of that fat lump. I don't like calling people fat, but he is a fat lump. He's rid of him.
He's fat.
Get him to Italy. There is plenty of pizzas, pasta, whatever he wants to eat, ice cream, whatever he wants in Italy, just to make himself even fatter. Go to a dead club in Juventus that is just corrupt beyond all nature. So that club kind of suits him. If Lukaku was a club, it would be Juventus. So just allow him to rot there, and hopefully he can just end his career in a misery at that miserable club. That's all I've got to say.
Before we move on to Caicedo, I'll start with you, Matt, but I'll just ask the roundtable. If not VLAHOVIC, because right now Fab has said that it's still not on. Now, maybe he's saying it's not on from a semantics perspective and that maybe it could be on, but there's no official bid yet.
Well, he's not even just said he's off. He says he's off the list.
So until he's on the list. Now, what do you think about that?
He's on the list and come off.
So, okay. So we'll go around round table. Yes or no on even any striker. Maybe we just go with Jackson. Woo, woo, woo.
Well, I actually think the club are looking at another situation, and I've mentioned to you this in private chat and on Twitter replies.
Yeah,
I think Chelsea are looking at the Ivan Toney situation. Obviously, comes back in January. How fit is he going to be? No one knows. But I think Chelsea are looking at the deal and going, well, Brentford are not a particularly big club that look to push big transfer fees. Never really have been. And I think in this situation where Ivan Toney, rightly or wrongly, his reputation is down in the gutters a bit, that means his transfer fee also goes down in the gutters. And I think Chelsea are looking at it and going, if we can get this player firing up, which it's possible, it's not like he's had a major injury. Oh my God.
Oh, he wins. He wins tonight.
The girls used to call me Lawrence of Alabia. What's up, Andrew? Woo! Porn title. How you doing, buddy? Matt is sweating through his morals right now. Irish man. That was one hell of a comment, my man. Okay. Andrew, Lukaku news. Juventus. Before we move on, what do you think?
from 1 year later. Let's move on. That's what I say.
Yeah, fair enough. Shernath, KJ, Jared, what do you think? Do you think we're going to get a player, or do you think we're just going to stick with Broya and Nico Jackson?
So one thing which I wanted was like to highlight the fact that we haven't sold Aubameyang. So he is still a striker who has potential to be a third striker in any good club. And he is still there in our books, and we haven't sold him yet because of his wages. And let's say we are not able to sell him by August, I wouldn't have any problem having him as a third striker, giving him chance, since we have only hardly like 2 games a week at most, I'm saying. So this is a good chance to give Nico Jackson and Broya a realistic opportunity to showcase themselves. And let's say they hit the ground running, we can have them. If they can't, we can sell them. I mean, loan them, sell them, up to the club. And Ivan Toney, for me, I would rather prefer Mitrovic than Ivan Toney, because Mitrovic is more of a realistic option than Ivan Toney. That's my take.
Even though Mitrovic is about to go to Saudi.
I want to hijack that. Honestly, I wish.
It's terrible.
I
that.
think
That is
Mitrovic will
a
take
terrible
the bag.
Yeah.
Mitrovic will take the bag.
That's what I'm saying. He's not a number 1 striker for us, but if I could sell Aubameyang, I could make him a number 3 striker or number 2 striker, like how Giroud
Aubameyang's
was.
not going to be with the team.
Sorry?
Yeah. These guys are.
Yeah.
He's not going to be with the team. That shouldn't even be in your facilities to bring up his name. He's done.
The club made it very apparent that they want him out. They wanted him out while Potter was still there. So it's not going to happen.
I think it's a shame because I don't think we really gave Aubameyang a fair chance. I think he came because he's one of his managers that he played really well under. Tuchel was there, and then he plays 1 game, and then that guy gets sacked, and then basically doesn't really get a fair chance ever since. So it is what it is. I would, if there was the chance to play Aubameyang and give him another go, I would give him another go. But it's not going to happen. So it's just not in my options, and that's why I look at other options. And again, I think Toney is something the club will go for and take a punt on, rather than pay over the odds for VLAHOVIC, who hasn't played well, pay ridiculous amount of money for Osimhen, or go for someone like Kolo Muani, who looks good with space, but you don't know what he's going to do in the Premier League.
Andrew, don't you think that if we waited for Ivan Toney, which I think that's a pipe dream, that we would, number 1, be punting on half of our season, and number 2, be introducing a player that hasn't played in 8 months? I actually think that would be a fool's errand. Andrew, you're muted.
Rookie mistake. I think it would be
Wow.
punting. It would be punting, but I think it's a good punt. I'd get Ivan Toney in. I think he's just, to me, he's the only 2 strikers better in the Premier League than him are Haaland and Kane. He is sensational on the ball and off the ball as well. I don't know what you're shaking your head at, KJ.
Oh no, I was telling the crowd to read this message right there.
Oh, you went. I think you went like that. And then you shook your head. You went like that.
Man, Andrew, I agree with your point. My bad.
Andrew's like, what the fuck? He slated me for.
He's gone on and shook his head. No, it's a punt, but I just think. Listen, I think, like I said, I think he's the 3rd best striker in the league.
He's
behind
good.
those
He's a
2.
good player.
And
And
he's
the
very
thing is,
good.
if you-
And I think he's got 18 months left in January, I think, something like that. If I'm right, I think it would be like that. It would be a hefty. I don't know what the fee would be.
I don't think
it'd
it's
be
that
a
high.
hefty fee.
I don't think it'd be
Yeah,
that high.
hefty fee.
I'd say Chelsea would probably get him 40, 50, which for a striker
50,
nowadays
yeah.
is nothing.
Yeah.
You guys, I think you're overinflating his value. I
I
think
mean,
that-
that is me being pessimistic. It could
I
be.
think
I
it'll be
don't
30
think-
million
I don't
pounds.
think you get. I don't think you're getting for 30 million. I think that's a pipe dream. I think you're getting anywhere 50.
I think we use assets with the deal.
18 months there. Yeah, you could use assets, especially if
Bro, yeah.
If Brozier's stinking up the place or isn't coming back to what you think it is. You could use him, I suppose. In you got Nicholas Jackson.
My point as well
like that.
The Ivan Toney thing is, if there was good strikers in the market right now, who are there for a semi-reasonable prices, then you wouldn't need to go for Toney. But the striker market absolutely stinks at the moment.
Yeah,
well, striker's a dying position. You know, the traditional striker's a dying position.
I mean, the fact that our reliance is VLAHOVIC, who hasn't played well for 18 months, Lautaro Martinez, who is just a serial bottler at the big stage, and a 19-year-old who is very unproven, who is being linked.
Are we thinking Poch? I'm thinking Poch wants a traditional. I'm thinking Poch leans towards a traditional number 9, an actual who's there. It's not like who's also a high cuckoo there, like someone who's just, literally just up there. Do you know what I mean?
But I do think he wants to try and semi-hybrid someone into not exactly the model of Kane, but in and around that sort of model. So not completely.
But even though Kane really only started doing this thing after, he never done it with Poch. He did it after Poch. He did it with Mourinho. He really kept this new hybrid thing where he drops a little bit deeper. It's happened with Mourinho. It didn't happen with Poch at all. That's the thing. It happened after that. So we're second guessing. I'm just hoping that if we're not going for a striker in the summer, and everyone was thinking we're going to use the budget on that, just means more of a chance of getting us an actual goalkeeper. So I'm all happy with that. So,
I'm sure you are. Yeah, 100 million Mike Maignan, let me tell you. All right, so let's go to this next one because this one's near and dear to my heart. And there's actually some pretty ridiculous misinformation going on. All right, Chelsea remains the only club in talks to sign Moise Caicedo, not Liverpool. Not Liverpool. Yeah, you Philip Melo and all these other guys that are pretending to be journalists, but just decided to one day say that you're a journalist, even though you're not. And, pretend that you've got contacts and you've got agent phone numbers and you've got naked photos of certain players so you can blackmail them for information. I mean, give me a fucking break, dog. Y'all don't know anything. Even these journalists, they're not in the rooms. They're not in the rooms. So I see right through you guys. And this account, Chelsea Fan Accountability, is really on a warpath to, expose some of these jabronis. I digress. Fab Romano, trustworthy guy. David Ornstein, trustworthy guy. Ben Jacobs, my man, the only source I need, trustworthy guy. Fab Romano, Chelsea remains the only club in talks to sign Moise Caicedo. Agreed on personal terms. Negotiations are active and concrete. The other thing right here, very important. Oh, not that one. So they said that Caicedo said that they may or he may actually put in a transfer request, Jared. So if the talks continue to be stalled, if it continues to be like molasses, he will put in a request. Now, hopefully he doesn't get to that point, because once you get to that point, that's sort of the event horizon point of no return, and that's where a relationship becomes damaged. But hopefully he doesn't get to that point. But I do feel as though this is a done deal. He's a very good player. But then again, we're going to be playing the way that we did with Conte under Antonio Conte's first season, where we'll play him every game and hope he doesn't get injured. I don't know if we should be doing that. I think we should still be going for Edson Alvarez on top of Caicedo. That's just me. Or maybe we play Andre Santos. But for now, we do need this player, and hopefully it'll get over the line. But I'm starting to get a little ants in my pants.
Well, sorry, don't sit on ant mounds. That's all I can tell you.
Nice. Thanks.
Everybody needs to chill out about this. These are face-to-face negotiations. These things would usually be going on behind the scenes. Okay. Yes, we might have had contact with Caicedo and had them agreed to personal terms months ago. That means nothing if you don't agree a fee with the club. So just chill out. It'll get done. It'll be a starting pivot of Caicedo and Enzo, and the backups were going to be Andre Santos, and it's either going to be Carney Chukwuemeka or it's going to be Viega, I think. as backups. I think that's what it's going to be. And it's because we're playing basically one game a week. So you don't need like a super deep squad of killers for 1 year until you get back in the Champions League. It's just
you don't need it yet. You need to just focus on the starting 11 at the moment. If you have guys there, this is the time to bleed in the likes of Andre Santos, and if you want Caicedo, I think it will be one of the two. I think Santos will stay, Caicedo will go on loan. But my point would be as well with the Caicedo, I think that transfer deals take time, and especially with Brighton, who are a ruthless negotiator. They don't just go down on their prices easily. We've seen that. And all these people going on crazy like it's 15th of July. We haven't done a deal. Oh my God, this is the worst window ever. After we've got rid of how many players already in this window? I might be safe in saying that this is the most players probably gone in the window.
Matt, can I interject for a sec? I called Paul this morning on my way to work. We were talking about this exact thing, and I'll let you go back and say, but this is pertinent to what you're saying. I said, Paul, in 6 weeks, if we include Lukaku and then Ziyech and Abba, who I think are going to go, and then I guess maybe Chalaba, this could be a £270 million, £270 million 6-week recoup. It's the most probably ever in the history of the sport. So you can't say this is a bad window when addition by subtraction, getting all our money back and losing players that don't want to be here or are not good enough anymore. It's an incredible window so far. We just need to start buying.
And Carlito, don't forget the wages.
It will take time. And the thing is, Brighton are well in their rights to put in a big offer. Instead of seeing the Declan Rice thing, they're trying to get the most out of us. And that's fine. I don't. Sometimes I get very annoyed with certain people like, oh, how dare these smaller clubs charge us ridiculous prices? Well, if we're going to poach their talent every 5 minutes, of course they're going to make money out of it. That's the whole point of it. And it happens. You just got to negotiate well, come to a price point. Like when you're on holiday and you see a nice hat or scarf or something you want to buy, and the guy's like €20, you go €5, and then you agree on 10, 12. It's haggling. You just got to haggle these deals through. And that's what Chelsea are doing. It might need Caicedo to help out, but it's just how it goes. People just need to calm the fuck down.
I just this is what I was saying.
One at a time, guys.
This is what I was saying. You can't. Chelsea fans can't have it both ways. You can't keep going. Yeah, like we need to string out these guys who are buying our players and get as much as we want, and then complain about Brighton doing the same thing. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. It's not a buyer's market. It's a seller's market now. So whether it's going to be 85 with a massive, lump sum, or it's going to be 100 million over a certain number of transfers for doing it. The whole idea of doing this deal would be, for me, this is the line where you go, you can't be doing these type of deals anymore unless it's like a massive superstar. We need to find our own Caicedos afterwards and stuff like that. So then we're not spending all this money, and then we have a budget where a certain superstar, if they pop up, want to go, we can focus on that transfer as our only target, because we've got all these guys we've got in for like 20 million and stuff like that. So that would be my hands to remember that. You can't keep going, but should just accept, or we should just walk away. We're not going to walk away. This guy is our number one transfer target. On the list of transfer targets, it's got Caicedo and then question marks way down on the paper underneath, because we don't know who else we're going to buy. This is the only guy we know we want to buy.
There's not even question
Other
marks.
deals are going to be like opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, he says he wants it too.
Yeah,
other deals are opportunities.
Sorry, one thing which I understood, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong in this statement, because this is what I understood from all the tweets, all the journalists, that Chelsea and Brighton are in agreement that we are buying Caicedo. It's just the terms, like how do we want to pay? Is it like upfront cash, or is it like we're going to break it up into a different structure? That is where the bottleneck is. It's not whether we are getting Caicedo or not. It is how we are going to pay upfront and how much we're going to pay in installments and what are the bonus.
For sure. And the other thing, Andrew, just to put a bow on this particular portion of it, this is why we're buying guys like Andre Santos, Diego Moreira, this kid, Gabriel from Santos as well, Carney Chukwuemeka, Noni Madueke. Cesare Casadei. I mean, these we're trying to buy our next McAllister, right? We're trying to buy our next Caicedo instead of, like you said, really, really being tied down to these deals that are fucking expensive because the team that we're buying from found their Caicedo, you know? I mean,
even with Strasbourg, and I hate to bring Belgium back into this, but they've just brought a young
you don't hate doing that.
They've just brought in a young centre back from Club Brugge who has looked pretty good. Still needs to improve on certain things, but should Chelsea then want to go in for another centre back once Silva finally hangs up his boots in whatever time he chooses, as a backup to the other guys, and that's an option at a club where we're not going to get ripped off.
Did we buy him?
That's one thing.
Well, Strasbourg have technically bought him.
Oh, okay. So we bought him. Gotcha.
And
obviously,
the one which
if we're going to want to buy the player, Strasbourg are not going to completely rip us off because you're not going to rip your own person off. You're basically exchanging money from here to here. There you go.
That is called Peter to Paul. What do you got, Shernath? Then we'll go to KJ.
And one thing which you brought up in our last barbecue, Andres Santos was trying to get fished out by Barcelona.
Oh, yeah.
Caicedo was trying to get fished out by Juventus. These are the players whom we have bought. So, guys, it's not like we are not doing the business. We are doing the clear out. This is the prime sale. We are still in the market for Caicedo. We are still in the market for a striker, for a goalkeeper. So have some patience. That's what I had to say.
KJ, what do you think about all this rigmarole?
I think it's unnecessary. I mean, we're doing what we need to do. We're doing business. We're selling players. We're getting the money we need. And we're trying to look for our top targets. And our top targets currently is Caicedo and a striker, whether that be VLAHOVIC, whether that be anyone else. I think the only thing that concerns me is the fact that we are seeing reports of Ivan Toney. That clearly means to me that the club are looking at third-round draft picks rather than first round. But then that's just what it is. In the transfer market, it's hard to get a striker. And if you want a striker that's going to give you 30 goals a season, they're going to come expensive. And Chelsea don't want to pay 100+ million for a striker.
180 million euros for Osimhen is just ridiculous.
Which is, it's insane. So for me,
I do not blame Chelsea for not going in for that.
Exactly. I wouldn't go for that. So I have no problem with the club looking at different targets, and I have no problem with the club putting all their time and attention on Caicedo, because fact of the matter is he's a player we desperately need right now. And if Brighton don't want structured payments, then that's fine. They can handle business like that. But if we're going to be stuck on him, then we're going to be stuck on him. I'd rather start the season with the attackers we already have right now if it means that we reinforce our midfield, because we need to. Our midfield is non-existent at the moment.
Yeah, but one player really turns it around. And I think, again, Christo and Kunku, I think he's going to play at the tip of that spear as an attacking midfielder. Because, I mean, at the heart of where he really came from, I mean, he's a midfielder who's just a really good attacker as well. He's dynamic, the whole shit. But I think if we're going to play like a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to call it, he'll be one of the attacking mids/wings. And I'm so excited to see him play. Matt thinks that I'm gassing him up too much, and I think Matt is a jabroni. So there you go.
Are you gassing up too much?
And Kunku.
I don't think you're gassing him up too much.
I did on the pod a couple weeks ago, and you gave me shit for it. So
you did go a little bit over the top, but I think he'll be a good signing for us.
I was so happy to see him today.
Very good signing.
Yeah. You see Mbappe? Mbappe's like, yeah, I'm going to get my popcorn ready. Mbappe knows, bro.
Mbappe knows. I mean, don't join us, Mbappe. Please don't.
No,
we don't want you anymore.
Garbage professional, but a great player. Definitely knows.
Mbappe. I'll take him. I'll take it, Mbappe.
You know, I was just going to pay you a compliment, KJ, saying how much I loved that you should have been on the barbecue, and I don't know why you only recently came on, but you know, man, I retract.
No, I just realized why you shouldn't.
Yeah, just I was gonna gas you up. I was gonna gas you up.
That's so, man. Fair play. I'm not gonna come again with my entrance music.
No, that's what she said. All right. Next topic. Caicedo, though. Yes. Calma. calm a Chelsea fan base who cannot be calm, because I swear to God, Matt, it's like if the devil didn't exist, it would be necessary to invent him. If drama at Chelsea didn't exist, it would be necessary to invent it, because calm Chelsea, these fans don't know what the fuck that even means. That type of state of being does not exist on the elemental chart of these people.
No,
I'm just bored by it now.
Yeah.
Just bored.
You're an
Yeah,
adult,
just
though,
bored right
Andrew.
now.
You're an adult. You're an adult.
I know,
All right.
but I'm just like, what? When it's getting good, you know what I mean? I'll be excited, but be like, thank Christ, we don't have to do another stream about how we're going to get this guy or something like that. The only difference is you can't win, because last summer it was hectic because we were getting loads of people in and out, so it's like news every day. Whereas this summer, we did explain to people you're going to see more outs than ins. I don't know why people don't get that. You're going to see more outs than ins this summer because we had a bloated squad. So it's obvious it was going to be that. So, you know, but anyway, they don't. No one listens to them.
We
I
need
don't know
fans
if
to not
you
be
guys-
calm, putting pressure on the club so they don't get complacent. Do you think the club listens to the fans?
Well, yeah. I mean, they do apparently.
Apparently, they do. They're coming out.
Oh, are you
Not
talking about
really.
this? Are you talking about the stake.com thing?
Yeah, I mean the last.
Okay,
I mean,
let me put this into context.
Hold on. To answer this question about Martin, putting pressure on the club. The last time fans put pressure on the club, we just lost 25 million a year.
Thank you. Yeah, congratulations, by the way, guys. Hey, great stuff. Yeah, great stuff. Because
It's proven.
because
they
a
don't
niche,
listen.
because a niche argument about morality in a secular business all of a sudden dictates financial policy. Fucking congratulations.
And the funny part,
It's also,
and
you
the funny
idiots.
part is these are probably the same people panicking that we're not signing players.
Oh!
Full circle, full circle.
it's also the same people. It's also probably the same people who thought we wouldn't get rid of the Chuckle brothers, and they're both gone. So you know what I mean? It's proof that they don't listen to the club doesn't listen to fans, or else those guys would have new contracts right now. So it's all good. Listen, it's all good.
But no, I mean, when it comes to signings, no, I don't think the club listens to fans at all. Not at all.
No.
Why would they?
Not a
Fans are erratic. Fans are untrustworthy. Fans are fickle. And also, and you know what else? Fans switch allegiances all the time to players, to the management, to ownership, all the time.
No, because you're right. Because everyone was clamoring for Nicholas Jackson right before we signed him. Every Chelsea fan was clamoring for him, right? They were mentioning we must get Nicholas Jackson, not going who, because everyone went who like that. And suddenly became an expert in like 12 hours of being linked with him. Oh, he's got a great strike rate, a ratio, and
I was a fan with him before he went to Villarreal, man, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I scouted his academy development.
The irony about it now is that these same fans now 3 weeks later are going, "Oh, we can't just deal with Jackson up front. Oh, he's just a kid. Oh, Michael Jackson." Blah, 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 blah.
Yo, you guys see pictures of him? I thought he was like skinny. Fuck no, he's huge, bro. He is a strong dude. And Paul watched this player. Paul watches these leagues, and he's like, oh yeah, Nicholas Jackson's super fast, very dynamic, still raw, but going to be a great player. Paul's a serious guy. He's very steady, and he doesn't get hyperbolic like I do. I trust what Paul told me today. He's like, yeah, Jackson's a good player. He'll be great, but he's good for now. Not the finished article, Matt Ball. Not the finished article.
Oh, no.
But Jared,
you're not expecting these 21-year-olds to be finished articles.
But speaking of another non-finished article, we'll go to Jared first. And speaking of a player that all of a sudden every Chelsea fan in the world knows about. Okay, sure. Ryan Cherki. If I'm brutalizing that name, sorry. Ryan Cherki. Jared, what do you think, brother?
Did you say jerky? Because that's more smoking than
How do you
barbecue.
pronounce his name? I don't know.
It is Cherki.
Cherki? Okay, yeah. Right. Okay, so you're just doing a dad joke and being condescending just to be a prick. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You know, it's how I roll.
I know. That's why we're friends.
So, yeah, I can't say I've watched a whole lot of him. I've watched a little, League On. But to tell you I'm some sort of expert about this kid, I don't know. I know that he can play right wing. I know he can play the 10 position. and we need a backup in both areas. And so, voila. He's French, so apparently French is the new hotbed.
Oh, so it's no longer Belgium. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's not Belgium.
Okay.
They had the McDonald's.
Hold on. Coefficient in the UEFA coefficients for the leagues, Belgium is now a top 5 league ahead of France. So France, French, shut your mouths.
Does that even surprise you? France is terrible.
France is terrible, but it makes me laugh that Belgium is now technically a top 5 league.
No one watches that league. Belgium.
Belgium.
So, guess what? There's only one guy I know that does. It's Paul. He loves Cherki. I mean, all I watched was the U21s for those couple weeks. I thought he was pretty good. I think that, and look, I'll go to you, Andrew, KJ, but I think that every position needs 2 players. Even if we're doing 3 fronts instead of a 4-front war. I got it. We're not in Champions League, but we still have got 2 domestic cups. We still have the Premier League that we should now be trying to win. And you need 2 players at each position. So if there are 2 wing positions or outside forward, whatever the fuck jargon you want to use, you need 4 players. So we have Sterling, Mudryk, Madueke, all 3 of them at any given day are starters. But we need a guy that's the 4th option. We need someone to replace Pulisic. And I feel as though Ryan Cherki could be the 4th option winger. Is he a starter? Absolutely not. But can he be the 4th guy? Yeah, I think so. I mean, Andrew, KJ, what do you think, man? Andrew, you're muted again. You know what? I'm going to mute you.
I'm not muted.
He was Matt.
I'm not muted. I wasn't muted. It's not
He was muted.
I didn't mute.
All right, go ahead. I'm just kidding.
I'm starting to think this Cherki thing's more. I don't know if we actually are in for him, because this all started on an opinion piece about sort of steamrolled into a linking us to him. I don't know if it's actual.
Where?
I can't remember who done it. They did like an opinion piece of who like Chelsea's about the under-21s tournament,
like La Parisienne or something.
No, it was a British opinion piece. I can't remember one of the Chelsea lot. And I don't know. I'm starting to think this is steamrolled into something that it's not. If it is, though, I think he comes in and covers 2 positions. That's probably what makes him a viable thing. He could play. People are going about he's lazy, and I'm thinking we don't need every attacking player to track back. Do you know what I mean? We don't need to have that. The way the fullbacks go in a Poch system, they won't. I don't know if they'll both go at the same time or something like that, or one of them will go at the same time. We don't need to really have every single attacker track back and stuff like that. So, like you said, though, I've only seen him a couple of times in the under-21s. He looked good. The other kid we're linked to, Vega, did not look good, so I wouldn't track him. But yeah, Cherki, if it is true, I think they're going to try and get the reports are what they want 50, but
you're right.
We'll probably hanker them down for like 40 or 40 plus 5 and all that shit that's now happening, and see what happens. But I don't know if it's concrete or not. I really don't.
I'm gonna go against the trend at the moment. Everyone's gassing up Cherki, saying he's amazing, blah blah blah. I just think he's flavour of the month, trendy player, hipster. Exactly what the type of hipster.
You think he's like Nabil Fekir?
We would discuss this. That Nabil Fekir is what he reminds me of.
Yeah, me too.
I get Andrew's point of not every player has to work hard, but I think from people that I've spoken to that do watch the French league enough, there's not many of them, but there are some. He was the reason he was moved into number 10 was because he didn't track back enough on the wing. So my point would be, yes, you do, it is important, but I'd argue if you look at our fullbacks, the fullbacks that are more the attacking fullbacks are on that right hand side. So you'd arguably do want someone that can track back on that side should James or Gusto go piling up. I wouldn't mind it if it's cheap, but I wouldn't want to pay over 30 million for this guy. Personally, I'd rather go for a cheaper Bala or You've got that Moreira that's coming.
Yeah, Moreira, by the way, the only reason Moreira, and Matt and I, again, we talked about this today, the only reason Moreira was not playing first team football was because Rui Costa punished him for not signing a new deal. KJ, I want to speak a little bit technical coach with you for a second. You have to divide the grid of the pitch into 9 pieces, okay? 3 vertical lines, 3 horizontal lines. That represents left, right, center, vertically of the positions, and then back, middle, front, right? So you're looking at it that way. It may even divide it into 16, but the way you have to look at it is that a formation's got left, center, right, and then back, middle, front. You have to draw lines between each of those little sequences. And if you're going to be a team that presses, if you're going to be a team that buys in all together and says comprehensively that you're going to do this, then I'm going to disagree with Andrew on this. There's a reason why PSG has not worked out. And there's a reason why Liverpool has worked out over the past 6 years. Because with Liverpool, they have bought in comprehensively from the window to the wall, all 11 players on the field and all 7 people on the bench. They have all decided that they will press, that they will work as a unit. And so, no, if we're going to do them, by the way, Pochettino's going to do this because he's an attacking coach, but he's going to ask everybody to run. He's going to ask everybody to march to the beat of the same drum. No, he's not going to allow Cherki to be lazy. No, he's not going to allow Cherki to not press. It's just simply not happening. Because if there's one, blind spot in the armor, then you're vulnerable. If 10 people are moving to the same beat, if 10 people are moving to the same press and one guy's being lazy, then there's a hole. Then there's a gap in the lines, whether it's the 3 vertical lines or the 3 horizontal lines. Because you always have to press as a unit. You always have to press as a mold. You defend tight and you attack wide. You defend tight and then you spread once you receive the ball. But you always move as a unit, like a slinky. But you're always in sync. And if one person on that team is not going to press, then it is a problem for everybody else. Because now there are holes, and then you can get, maybe the midfield line, right, can all of a sudden get beat with one vertical ball. Whether that ball's in the ground or in the air is irrelevant. Okay, if you're not moving with everybody else, you become a major liability, and it breaks the cohesive unit. So, no, I do not agree with Andrew on that one, that everybody has to press, and it's okay if some people are lazy. That's absolutely fucking not true. That's because I've had to... no, and that is why Hazard and Mourinho had a really, really hard time. But even Hazard under Conte, he did some defending. Like, Hazard grew into the role, but Cherki is also not Hazard. And by the way, Andrew, I'm sorry, but Hazard was one of those liabilities that I'm talking about. He was. On the defensive side. Oh, on the defensive side, he was a liability. Absolutely.
Okay. I'm just saying. I'm not saying Cherki has. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying Poch won't draw some aspect of that into. He probably will. What I'm saying is that I don't believe that every person has to track back. The Liverpool thing is such a thing, because the problem with the Liverpool thing is that you've seen their drop off of it. He killed his players. He killed his players because you don't. Yeah, exactly. Because the problem is with this: if you do this, you then have to plan well ahead to get replacements in. If you're going to do this, but guess what? He doesn't have an obligation to their careers. He doesn't. No, that's right. So you have to then, if you're going to do this, that Poch wants to go and say, I hope there are plans in place for like the older, quicker or players that show signs of not adjusting well. So that would be my bit. But I don't think Poch will go as fully metal like Klopp would. I think Klopp.
No. He's not irrational about it. But what I'm saying is, like, even Hazard, like Mourinho would give shit to Hazard publicly, and even under Mourinho, like Hazard still did press. By the way, he reluctantly did. He didn't want to.
Oh, he did. He did.
He did press though. So you can't say that he didn't, because that would negate my argument.
What I'm saying is that I think if Cherki was to come, that would be drilled into him a bit. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it'll be like fully up and down like that. He'll do some of it, and some players will do some of that. But I'm just saying it's one of these things where I don't know why it's I don't know why. Maybe it's an English thing that we always go to attacking players. Well, what can they do going backwards? You know what I mean? Instead of focusing on.
Well, okay, so there's a difference here. So
first.
you have to think about like even the subtlety between a 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1 is that a 4-2-3-1 is 2 wings, or is a 4-3-3 is 2 outside forwards. Outside forwards don't really track back because if you're playing a 4-3-3, you're playing with 2 attacking mids, and those attacking mids actually cover the half wing space in the middle of the field. So then, no, your outside forwards really don't track back that much. And then when Hazard was playing for Antonio Conte, he was playing a 3-4-3. There were 3 people on the left-hand side. It was him.
He didn't have
it was him. It was Cahill, and it was Marcus Alonso. Hazard did not need to track back at all. See, Andrew, by the way, I've done this. Now you can see that I've done this before. No. But I hear you. But if Cherki wants to play for Chelsea, he's at least going to have to try a little harder.
Well, we're talking about a guy who's he's not even going to be a starter anyway.
No. But you know what? Yeah. The habits that he has at 19, they're not unbreakable.
Exactly. You can coach him out of it. And someone's put in there, look at his numbers. I'm like, he's 19. I mean, what? Yeah. You know, what are we supposed to? What is he supposed to have scored like 100 goals already at 19?
And I'm not even going to rely on him. I'm not going to rely on him.
Let's let guys 19. Do you know what I mean? If he's a good player and is coachable and able to go further ahead, his numbers will improve. So let's not always use numbers for like a teenager. Do you know what I mean? It's like
I never use numbers. I just always watch a player. Shardath, what do you think of this tit for tat? That Andrew, very respectful, very good. I liked it.
Well,
I haven't seen a tit or a tat yet.
What? What was that?
I'm also trying to see a tit.
I'm not showing you my tat. That's for sure. That's all good. Let's move on, man. Jesus. Go on, Shana.
Oh my!
KJ just wants to see what that mouth do, baby. That's what he wants to see.
That's why I want Lukaku to stay.
My goodness, what kind of a barbecue have I come to?
The one that is corrupting your pure mind, my man.
Yes, indeed. And Cherki, I'm just gonna have, I want everyone to stay away from him. Let him grow as a player. This ain't the Hazard. This ain't Messi or Ronaldo. This is a kid who is coming to realize his potential. So let's stop at that. Let him have time to grow, and then let's debate whether he's world class or not. For the fourth winger, I could put in Nkunku. He is very good at all the front 3. Or I could put in Lewis Hull. He's good. Oh. He has a good cross. If I just need a 4th guy to fill in the gap, I could bring him in. Just saying.
Yeah, what do you got, Jared? You heard King Louis's name. I mean,
again, if we bring him in, we bring him in. If we don't, we don't. This hand wringing over bringing some players in, and not wanting to get others. The age of them. We all bitched about buying expensive players like Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Why not find them when they're young? We go find them when they're young, and people bitch about buying young players. It's like it's a never-ending bitch. And none of the people out in the ether know a damn thing about football, or they would be being paid to do it now.
Yeah, the never-ending bitch. That should be the title of a certain person's documentary.
So again, or the other title of that book would be Marriage.
KJ knows what I'm talking about.
So but for me, it's okay if the people who are paid to scout think he's good enough to play for Chelsea Football Club, then bring him in by all means. Happy to have more talent in the team. But if this is just some BS flavor of the month that people have built up and propped up. I mean, and then they doesn't happen, so they can feel bad about it. What the hell is your life, even? You know, go out, find a girl, quit being a virgin. That's all I got to say. That's what it is. Virgins are just unhappy. You get laid, you let go of all that bullshit.
All of a sudden, your brain just
The
stops
only-
working for 15 minutes.
Leon's got a transfer ban. I think they've got a transfer
Hey,
ban.
we still have Callum Hudson.
This is Andrew. This is where we take advantage of them.
That's what I meant. But I will also say this: I'm not seeing anyone else linked to him, and I don't know whether that's good or bad. Do you know what I mean?
So here,
You know what I mean?
let's great transition though, because this is the eternal question right here with VLAHOVIC.
Right.
Andrew, KJ, Srinath, and the jabroni up in the right corner from West Texas. My guys, why is Juventus so keen on getting rid of this player? Why do they want a player that we deem to be unworthy of even European football in Lukaku? Why do they want to get rid of VLAHOVIC after 18 months? What do they know that we don't? Why are we all of a sudden keen on a player that they are no longer keen on, that's 23 years old, huge, lots of potential upside, lots of written about accolades? What is going on here that we don't know that they do? Because I feel like we're being duped, and I can't put my finger on it. Normally I can.
I think it's just down to pure money. I think they can get about between 75, 80 million euros for him. Spend half of that on Lukaku, but then again, he can't be on that much wages. So Lukaku's wages will be more than his, even if he takes a pay cut. I think. So I think it's just they're doing it just for money. They're not in Europe, and remember they got kicked out as well.
VLAHOVIC
So
makes
kicked
about
out
a little more than $100,000 less.
Right,
than
so it's
Lukaku.
nothing to do with his wages. I think it's just he's 23. There's not a lot of his type in terms of forwards going around in the market. They're seeing that no one's going to buy Osimhen for 180. Let's sell this guy for 80. I think PSG were linked to him or something like that. Maybe Bayern, if they're not going to get Kane, they'll go for him as well. They'll start a little bidding war and sell him between 80 and 90 million euros and make a huge profit on him. That's just it. I think they're in sort of financial issues as well.
Yeah, I think they need it for their books.
Yeah.
So that's why this came out that McKinney's for sale.
Yeah.
Bonucci. What's the guy they got from that was at Liverpool last year?
Chiesa?
Oh
No, not Caicedo. No.
Arthur.
I wish.
Arthur Melo.
Arthur
Melo.
Yeah.
He's for sale.
I've seen Chiesa. I've seen Chiesa being offered around as well.
Well,
So-
but not for
as
a
well.
reduced rate, Andrew. Not for a reduced rate.
Oh no,
So
but
they're-
I'm just saying being just offered like that. Like if an offer came in, they'd be more than willing.
Yeah, I think that.
I remember they got Di Maria. They didn't re-sign Di Maria. He's off the books. He's gone to Benfica.
KJ, don't you think that there's more to their financial situation than people are letting on? Because this is hilarious to me. Even if it's because they just don't want to get rid of Mike Maignan, you have AC Milan saying, "Oh, I don't even know if we can handle 20 million for Pulisic and for Ruben, but he's $100 million price tag for Mike Maignan." It just seems to me that number one, they're assholes, but number two, I think that they're in a lot worse situation financially than we even think.
I think they're cheap.
Bro, these people.
I mean,
Well-
right now, what are the top leagues which are getting more revenue?
Let a Srinath. Gotta not interrupt KJ there, bro. What's up, KJ?
I think they aren't giving us the full story. My working theory is that all of these clubs owe money to the Italian mafia. But no, it doesn't make sense.
Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Oh,
it doesn't make sense. The way they evaluate players and the way they try to bring in players, it like one is not adding up to the other. I can understand overvaluing a player that you want to get rid of. That every club does that. But then to do the inverse and then try and get less for a player coming in, it seems that you're trying to fill in the gap that is quite evident. I mean, Inter Milan are masters of doing that. AC Milan also masters of doing that. So it's one of those things where I do think there is an outstanding debt that most of these clubs need to pay, and we're just trying to fill in the void.
Yeah, bro,
dumb.
everybody's telling me that we have such great relationships with these two Milan clubs, and it's always us giving them decent players for cheap, them never selling us dick. Nothing. What relationship are you talking about? This seems to be like there's no reciprocity here. This is a one-sided relationship. We're getting fucked, they're doing the fucking.
Well, the TV deal in Italy is very, in Serie A is a lot less than what the Premier League is. And that makes a huge difference. Huge difference.
That's why these clubs are partnered up with so many streaming partners.
Yeah, well, eventually I think it's going to be one, KJ. At the end of the day, in 10 years, yes. Yeah, what's the one streaming service that could just burn money? It's fucking Apple.
Oh, fuck Apple.
But you watch the MLS coverage? It's amazing. They've done an incredible job with the MLS.
No, I don't have Apple. Don't own Apple.
No, I don't have Apple TV. I have the MLS portion of Apple TV. I don't have Apple TV. Just the MLS portion, but they do a great job. And watch yourself with BT Sport and Sky. A year and a half, they will be done with their rights. Apple's going to swoop in and take it all.
I think Amazon Prime is.
So one thing, right? Sorry, I interrupted KJ during that time. Sorry, KJ, about that. But the revenue, Jared said, England, like EPL, has the most broadcasting revenue, most. Second is Spain, and Spain is like 60% of English revenue. And Italy is like not even half of what England gets. So let's face that numbers first. And second of all, England has FA Cup revenue and Carling Cup and other things where we are seeing more revenue coming in place. Whereas in Syria, we do have such similar competitions, but they don't have that much revenue generation. So it's boiling down to the part where the big bucks are going towards England and other leagues like the German and the Spain league, and not to Italy.
Okay, but you have to understand now. Let's be very clear about. Let's talk about Chelsea, for instance, discluding COVID, because match day revenue is actually pretty big. So if we're talking about just revenue in general, it comes from three different things: match day, broadcasting, and commercial. Okay, those are the three facets of revenue for every club. With Chelsea, match day makes up about 20%, and then broadcasting makes up around 43%, and then I would say 37% of it comes from commercial, right? So those are the three revenue streams that every club gets. And then, commercial versus broadcasting, it sort of goes up and down as to which one's more viable depending on where that club is placed in next year's tournaments. This coming season, commercial will be higher for us than broadcasting revenue. Because the way that it's divvied out, it's not the most popular team that gets the most broadcasting revenue. No, it's where you place. It's essentially prize money. So broadcasting revenue, the most broadcasting revenue is going to go to Man City and the top four teams. It's prize money. That's how it's divvied out. So we just got 12th. We're going to have considerably less prize money, and we're not going to be in Champions League next year. So a lot of it's going to come from commercial and gate.
That is true, Carlito. But what
I know it's true. That's why I said it.
Chelsea's one thing. Chelsea is not in Champions League, but still, the money which Chelsea gets from broadcasting and commercial would be far better than what AC Milan would be getting.
Yeah, of course, because the TV deal's better and we're a bigger brand.
That's exactly what I'm trying to point out. So that's why they are trying to sell more and buy less. Sell at a premium price.
You're right, but why are we doing them favors when they would never do us a favor? They're never going to sell us their star winger for anything less than market price plus 20%.
When did we do them a favor?
Giroud, Pulisic, RLC. What's the center back, KJ?
Tomori.
There you go.
Tomori was a free, or he was the last year of his contract. Pulisic was in the last year of his
Tomori wasn't free. Tomori was $25 million. What are you talking about? What are you talking
He was in
about?
the last year of his contract, and that's why.
Okay, it wasn't free. So that's $25
No,
million.
I said or. There was an or there. Come
Well,
on,
there didn't
man.
need to be an or if you actually knew your homework, my man.
So, hey, I'm on vacation, bitch. Vacation.
I don't give myself excuses for fuck ups. No.
Well,
Look, no.
I mean,
No,
you get excused all the
I get what
time.
you're saying. I get what you're saying. My point, Jared, is very simple. We do them favors all the time.
That's not a favor. We got the price that we wanted.
No, I don't. No, Pulisic's 24 years old. On his day, he's a very good player. 20
But
mil? I don't think that's a fair
They
price.
hit the mark that we wanted them to hit. I don't know what to tell you.
What I'm
We were
asking
more
is
interested
for
in
a
getting them
little.
out
No.
than
What I'm
getting
asking
in
for is a
money.
little reciprocity. A little reciprocity.
They don't want. We wanted to sell Pulisic. They don't want to sell Mike Mannion.
And then we
It's
didn't even
like
have a
if you-
conversation about Tonali. We didn't have a conversation about Tonali. Really? No combo.
Tonali ain't gonna cut it in the Premier League. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay, we'll see. Because they said the same thing about Fabregas.
Well, he wasn't that great at AC Milan. I can tell you that. That's why they were okay getting rid of him. So, I'm just coming from somebody who watches them play.
KJ, can you at least hear me out a little bit with regards to the Milans? It's like, man, we do these guys favors all the time.
I think we help build their squads for cheap.
Yeah.
I think that's what we do. And in return, they decide to dilute us. That's a fact. That's why I say it's not a fair evaluation on how we rate their plays and how they rate ours. But I mean, at the end of the day, business is business. So if you see it as not doing a favor, well, in their eyes, that's just business as usual. Simple
Then
as
maybe
that.
we need to find a new partner.
Maybe we just need to stop going to Italy and looking for players.
I mean, unless it's Borea, obviously. You know.
How about
Well,
that?
Look, how many teams can afford to buy our players in the world outside the Premier League?
Oh, Bayern
not-
Munich. Bayern Munich for sure. Their wages are higher than ours.
There's not that many teams. It's easier for us to go buy from smaller teams because we have money.
Respectfully, and I'm going to say this to the whole panel, I think these teams are just crying poor. I think that there's a little posturing there. I think there's a little creative accounting there. There's a little nonsense going on.
I mean, it is what it is. All I can say is I'm not going to lose sleep over not getting this player or that player because of the price tag. I'm
fine with us selling all these guys, Jared. I'm just saying at a certain point, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. The funny thing about my back is it's located on my cock. One time, AC Milan. One time. Give me a player. One time.
I mean, we have a better relationship with Arsenal than any other Italian club. So what? Does that
Without
tell
question. Without question. Arsenal has given us great deals coming and going. 100%. It's ironic that we should be like huge rivals with them. We do great business with them all the time.
Well, it's one thing to say, hey, I got this brand new, my favorite pie is cherry pie. So brand new out of the oven cherry pie. I want to sell you for $20. There's another thing for me to spit on that cherry pie and go, I still want $20 for it. Okay, we were trying to give away people. They came up to what we wanted. We were begging them for their players, and they gonna gouge us. That's the way of the world. I mean,
but we got 65 plus, which is what I think $78 million USD for Kai Havertz. Whom I think even me, I would say that's even too much.
One is shopping at Neiman Marcus, and one's shopping at Walmart. What can I tell you?
Hold on, they're still shopping at Chelsea, and yet Arsenal paid a lot more for players than AC Milan did.
Okay, well, how about Marshall's, like a discount store? That gets
So you're saying that we're both a discount store and Neiman Marcus? Okay.
Well, you got to move the product out. If you can't get the high rate for it, you got to sell off your stock.
So what Jared is
I
saying,
mean, my sister owns a store that does that. So
what Jared is saying that these guys are in the clearance sale in Walmart.
Roman.
they're in the clearance bin. You know, Pulisic was in the last year. There was no great hype around him because of the year he had the past year. So they took 2 out the Bobo bin and matched them up. Okay, that's what happened. So you put him out there for a cut price rate, and you're mad you got a cut price rate for him?
In fact, didn't they start off at 12 million and then they came back with like 10 million more overall?
Yeah, I mean, we had him up to what we wanted.
Given the fact that it's 60 million we paid for him, his 5-year contract, depreciation, it's actually a profit on him.
Yeah, we did make
in his final year. So, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, that's a good deal. We were never going to go to the goalkeeper one's a funny one because they've only got really Magnon really in goal. You know what I mean? They're not going to sell like he's one of the best. So it's not going to be the same when we go, yeah, do you know what? We're giving you all these players now. Give us a cut price on. It's just not going to happen. It's like I keep saying, we wouldn't do it on ours, would we? We bought a lot of players from you, and now we'll give you a cut price on Prime Kante or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's just not gonna. This doesn't work that way. So
yeah.
I just be grateful that we got people actually unbelievably don't actually watch Chelsea players, but are still willing to play, still willing to pay for them. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'd be grateful for. And Kai Havertz thing, listen, that's just Arteta's crazy Frankenstein mind. Trying to say it.
God bless him.
God bless him, man.
God bless him. God bless him because
Do you know what I heard yesterday after the game, Jared? Some Arsenal fans are then going, "Oh, it's not an Arteta signing; it's a board signing." No, bro, that's an Arteta signing because the board didn't want him. That's right. That's an Arteta signing.
You know what I heard after the game? Well, Kai Havertz doesn't play that position. What position does he play?
We've got to find a position for him. We don't know what position.
That's a great conversation. We've had that passion for about 3 years. Somebody else can have it from now on.
Yeah, Danny. Welcome to our world for the past 3 years.
Arsenal fans,
back to this.
We thusly informed you this would happen. You were put on notice, and you put out some stupid fucking compilations from when he was at Gladbach. And guess what? Is it Leverkusen? Leverkusen. Whatever.
Jared's on fire.
A B-Tech German club. And this is what you got. You're going to have to deal with this shit because he's going to start game in, game out, and shank about every other thing that he touches into the stand. And then you got Matt on the other side just going to do the same thing with the other foot.
I just point out we actually turned down Arsenal's first bid for Kai Havertz, if you remember.
I know.
They actually bid more for him. Yeah, they bid more for him. So yeah, it wasn't like, yeah. Hey, we actually turned down their first bid. That's it. Came back with more.
Yeah, but Andrew, this is what I'm talking about. Why are we not doing business with clubs like this that will give us the money that we deserve out of this shit?
But we've made a profit with Pulisic in the last year.
I think. Well, no. You're totally right about that. But I'm just thinking more along the lines of I know that we couldn't wait to get rid of these guys, but I'm looking at this in a vacuum as a purist.
But you've got to think about what market these players. There was no one coming. Well, Leon, I suppose. Leon transfer ban, didn't they? So he's never going to go there. But you got to think about the teams that are coming in for them. We didn't. No Chelsea fan thought that this Saudi Arabia thing would happen. First of all, and then no one really thought we would get rid of half of these players. We were hoping, but you just got to. That's why I'm glad that they're willing to negotiate and not compromise on a lot, but not like go. No, you still need to make up 5 million more. Like the Mason Mount thing. It was like we knew we weren't going to get 80 miles that much and go further back because we got United hooked. We wanted them to hit 50, and we knew we were only 5 million apart and stuff like that. It's just I'm glad they're not going. No, you need to pay like 15 million pounds more because then people would walk away like the old board did. And that's why we've only just got rid of Bakayoko and Baba Rahman this summer because of those deals like that. Do you know what I mean? It's just you're gonna have to take a hit on some of them. That's just what it is. And if someone's offering you remember, like I said, AC Milan first came in with full euro package overall for Pulisic, and then we rejected it because it was too little, and then it's like 22 million overall or something like that. It could get to. So I just think it's just move them on. Get whatever you can for them in terms of that. So even if you lose anything on them, it's not losing a lot. Like with the Lukaku thing, we have to. I think it's 40 million euros to break even, or something like that. So that's why we're holding out for that. So I don't think I think they've done very well in terms of the sales. Unfortunately, this is some of our players. It's just the market. It's just the market that they have. If AC Milan are the only club coming in for them, you can't really look the gift horse in the mouth, can you? Really, you know what I mean? So it's like, get her done, stuff like that. So,
Yeah, fair play on that. It's just, it is what it is. And folks, we just, we finally got all the deadwood out. I mean, there's some more, but the majority of it's gone. Y'all been asking for it. Don't bitch about it.
Caicedo for them.
Did it happen?
No. That's what they're thinking. It might be completed this weekend, or a big move this weekend. Because remember, they got rid of that Solomon broken William left as well. So
yeah. Hey, I mean, good luck. Have fun playing in the championship in a couple of years. That's all I can say. Guy was B-Tech anything.
So I want to address one more thing.
He's wearing a dress for one more thing? Okay.
No, I want to address one more thing. KJ, we're going to do it. Okay? We're going to do it. I want to talk about Benjamin Mendy for a second.
Boo.
The only reason being is that everyone deserves their day in court. He was killed for it. He either is guilty of sin and has a great lawyer, or he was done dirty. We'll see. Is his career over? I don't think so. But regardless of it, all professionals, be careful, man. Whether it's your behavior or people looking to get at you, just be careful. That's all I'll say. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm not saying he's guilty or innocent, but it was a complete mess. He was exonerated by the letter of the law. Doesn't mean he didn't do it, but to anybody that's worth a lot of money, just be careful. Because you may be entitled to think you're entitled to shit, or people may be out to get you. I don't know. But yeah, let's actually just not address it instead. It's kind of a bummer of a topic, but it was the topic du jour. Yeah, final thoughts. What do you think, Jared? Final thoughts. This whole thing this week. I love the moves that we've done for the outgoings, but at a certain point, we still need the D mid, which we will get, the striker, which we should want, and then maybe Dybala or Cherki. I would prefer Dybala because he's older, more experienced, and in my estimation, a considerably better player. But that's just me. What do you think, Jared?
I think I'm tired of talking about all of this and glad that Wednesday we have our first preseason match against Wrexham. So
I love that, by the way. I know KJ loves that. Me and KJ watch the doc, bro.
I'm just ready to go, man.
If anybody has not seen the doc, oh my God, it's so funny.
Best.
It's so good, dude. It's so good. And more than that, you can tell these dudes love football. Like the town itself is like obsessed with this, team that's apparently has this racehorse stadium that's one of the oldest in Europe, and it's just a team that stinks. And then all of a sudden, you had two American owners that instead of just buying a club to make profit of it, bought a club and injected a whole bunch of capital and got them their promotion. It's fucking amazing. It's a great documentary. And it's done really well too. So yeah, I can't wait. Wrexham, how smart is that, KJ? Super smart.
I think it benefits all parties, if we're being honest. And you know what? If it invites a Disney sponsorship, then please, Disney, fill our pockets.
Dude, Bob Iger's trying to make some serious left turns, bro. Yeah, I know you've been paying attention to that. He's even he's thinking about reinventing ESPN in like a different form, selling off assets. It's a new world, bro.
I love the fact that he's actually reinventing the business model and how they do things and dropping all the bullshit that Disney keeps on pumping up to just give us quality shows. But in terms of what you said, I think this is a great opportunity for the players, especially since we have young players to play Wrexham. It's a team that's hungry. They've come off a very successful season, so they're obviously going to be right at it. I think it's good. I think this is the best way to kind of test out which players really want to be in the club or not. And I know we didn't address this, but that Frank Lampard interview, like, I listen, you guys should go watch it, man. I'm just saying, you guys should go watch it.
As someone that's in media, KJ, and as someone that takes pieces of the marketing pie now from traditional advertising forms, there are companies, there are major companies like Viacom, right, like ESPN up until recently, that have tried to die with the old model. And with that old model, it's just you trying to get maybe 8% less than you got the year before. Instead of, in the 80s and 90s, it was let's get 50% more than we got the year before. No, now they're just trying to die slower. And it's good on Iger because you know what I'm talking about because you pay attention to the media. I'm in this shit. Like I do this shit for marketing. Like it's good on Iger to like really hard pivot and say, no, we're actually now going to be the culture setters instead of trying to hold on to something that's an antiquated medium that's not only dying is dead. He just doesn't know it yet, but he does.
Yeah, I think a strong way to sum it up is really he's focusing on quality more than quantity now.
Yeah, well, he fucking should because those some of those that Solo movie was a stinker.
That's what I'm saying. If he wants to go into sports and give us a sponsorship.
No, all right, Zvoy, what do you got? Aussie Matt. We got Aussie Matt coming in late. He always he messages me right after I quit. He says, "Oh, you didn't let me on." Well, I'm letting you on, dickhead. What do you got to say?
What do you mean? I'm never here because I'm always asleep. All right.
Andrew just muted because he doesn't want to hear your bullshit. What's up, Matt?
Well, I don't even know, man. We haven't spoken in a while, man. We haven't had our Havertz celebration. We haven't had our Mount celebration. I know you've been a bit happy.
No. The only celebration I'm having is Aspie. You know it's Aspie.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. That's Scully. I don't know what's wrong with you, man. I don't know what this Aspie.
That was a part.
What was that, Andrew? You cut out there. You want to repeat that?
I said that was your Aspie going away party was a party of one. That's what it was.
Yes.
That's right. And I had a fucking fantastic time.
Well, Khalid, obviously Havertz is at where is this? He's at Arsenal now.
Yeah, we had an unbelievable price for him. I'm grateful.
Are you happy? You think he's going to succeed there?
I think he'll be fine. He's playing in a midfield with really good midfielders. So yeah, I mean Odegaard's really good.
Yeah, swing and miss, straight to.
I love that. I love that friendly he had. I love those friendly, those friendly games Mount Havertz just had, and how these fans try so hard to show how good they did. But
you mean the same fans that shit on him before? The same fans.
Yeah, no, the Arsenal fans, the United.
Oh no, yeah, they shit on him before he came to Arsenal.
Yeah, and of course.
Yeah, and Man United fans, they shit on Mount before he went to United. I mean, Lewis, Carefree Lewis is like he's just dishing out receipts left and right. The guy's phone must be full of screenshots. I mean, he's just working mad. So Matt, talk to me about. I know you're late. By the way, you're fucking an hour and a half late. It's called an alarm clock, young man.
Hang on. I finished work at 1 a.m. Come here. I wake up at 9 o'clock. I wake up when you guys started, but I have to do something beforehand. But I'm here.
What time is it? What time is it where you're at? What time is it where you're at?
It's 10 a.m. now. It's 10
a.m. Oh, get the fuck out of here. You know what?
So that wank session took that long?
No. What he does, he calls it, no, Jared.
Just make sure you cleaned up after yourself.
Jared, someone like Matt, he takes an hour prior to the jerk to do what he calls research. And development. He looks through all these goodies and then new ones, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do a little bit of both.
He was watching that leading the blood tape
for 30 minutes. You can do this. You got this.
He's got that Kardashian on repeat, dog.
Doing that at 9 a.m. Khalid. No one's doing that shit at 9 a.m. 10
don't have to
I
put
mean,
your hand
I'll crack stick at 5 a.m. I don't give a shit.
Oh my god.
Okay. Never sleep in Carlito's bed.
Yeah.
I wash my sheets every week, man. Come on now.
Oh, just every week. It doesn't matter. Anyway, wake on Tuesday. I'll watch them on
Sometimes
Friday.
sometimes I want to bask in it. What the fuck do you want from me? No, but Matt, it also jokes aside, the Lukaku thing today seems pretty interesting, right? Timing. Fuck, man. Did you see this shit?
Which one? The final bids for what? The Fab said?
Wow,
Or
you know what?
something?
You're
Yeah.
too late, dog. You're too late. You're too late.
What am I too late? Well, I've seen the thing.
KJ, I think I got to call this one, brother.
Have we spoken about our
We
only
have.
our only keeper going to PSG? Of course, PSG winning. Have we spoken about
All
that?
right, this is actually a good topic. Shrinoff, Jared, can you stay 10 more minutes? I can do 10 if you can do 10.
Sure.
Hell, how long have we been on?
An hour and a half.
I'll give you 5.
Oh, give me 7.5 and we'll call it even.
I'll give you 7.
7 and 25 seconds. It doesn't start until we finish this conversation, you fucker. I would love Donnarumma in return. I mean, let's be real. KJ, what do you think?
Gianluigi Donnarumma, once a former failed one-day kid, now a quiet, refined keeper. Would I take him? No.
What an asshole.
Why would we take him? We have a better keeper already. We don't need trash. We already got one.
Because
of the best
Donnarumma
keepers
can
here.
actually stop shots higher than a 5'10 man. Shrinath, what do you got?
I would always say this: kick out Kepa, get in Keylor Navas, and have the seat warm for Slonina.
Me too.
You know what's funny? Kepa's the most proper Chelsea player there is. Most proper Chelsea player. No, I've been sick the
No,
last couple of days.
stop.
Carlito,
Oh,
sorry,
that proper
Coachella.
point so bad now. Please don't bring
Mate, that's the most proper Chelsea player I've seen. If we talk proper Chelsea player, he's proper Chelsea, mate.
He's our
He needs to
longest
say
serving
something.
player, is he not?
If you count first team,
No,
I think,
it's Ethan Ampadu. No,
yeah,
it's Ethan
Ampadu,
but
yeah.
he's gone anyway. He's gone.
You saw that too, KJ.
Mate, he's gone anyway. He ain't playing this season.
Oh,
anyway.
man.
No, we're gonna sell him, dude. By the way, hey Andrew, can you come back on for a second? Sorry, the vulgarity is it a détente? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, fuck. Are we talking back?
Callum Hudson-Odoi seems to be on his way to Fulham. What do you think?
Good, man. I listen. Just get him gone. You know what I mean?
But it's a broader
just-
context question, Andrew, because I got to ask you: have you ever seen in a 6-week span sales of this magnitude? Now, I'm not talking about the Neymar thing where they got 220 million euros for one player. I'm talking about the amount of players we've sold, salaries, and the window that we've just done in. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, it sort of reminds me of like NFL, NBA off season. You know, when it's
Yeah.
just like the rosters just like get flipped upside
Just
down.
shredding salary, right?
You know, yeah, like the 1-year contracts go, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm glad, man. Fulham can take him. I said to Jester about 5-10 minutes ago, they've lost Solomon and William, so that's fine, man. Spend the money. I'm just amazed by how people obviously didn't watch Chelsea last season and still buy our players. I mean, didn't do anything in the Bundesliga. Got 1 assist and 1 goal. 1 assist, and that assist is a Fugazi assist as well. It's like a looped ball, like would kick up like he was an NFL punter or something like that, and it was like headed in. But he couldn't even ball out in the Bundesliga. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? I don't know how
That's
much he'll be. What do you reckon,
crazy.
Jay?
Come
What
on,
do you
come on.
reckon,
He's
Jester?
got
15,
hey.
something like that.
Andrew,
No,
he's
I
young,
think
man.
it's
He's
about
young.
10 million.
He's young. 10 mil.
I don't care.
I think 10
Fine.
mil was what I heard.
10 mil
Hey,
is it?
guys,
Yeah. Oh, he's in his last year
he's
as
young
well. Isn't he?
still. He's still young. He's still young. He still has time to develop.
Oh, who
What's this
cares?
one? Go on.
Just get him gone, man. Even if it's like
What
only
do you
half
think he's gonna get?
around the
He's
corner.
going to get breast or something?
Hey, Aussie Matt, can you do me a favor next time? Is it Saturday where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you do me a favor and set your alarm for 8:30 instead of 10?
What happened to the
Next time?
12:30? What happened to the 12:30 barbecues? Like, what was the time change? Was it just due to like inflation or
There's
something?
never
Like,
been a
giving the
time change,
back,
Jared.
or-
We always do it at 4:35 on
No,
Fridays.
I swear it used to be.
I
maybe the
swear,
time
Jared.
changed.
What time is it? It is 7:12.
It's 6:12 where I am PM Friday night, so we always do it at 4:35 my time. Okay, so I'll end with one last question to everybody. Will you feel satisfied with this window and taking into consideration everything, right? Comings, the goings, everything in between, where we were at, the motivation for what we need to do, professional pride from the players moving forward, Reece James's knee being okay to go to the USA. I said a couple Hail Marys. Are you guys going to feel satisfied at the end of this window? Do you think that we should even have the capacity to feel satisfied or more anticipatory, more angry, more apprehensive about this season versus last? I'll start with you, Mr. Shrinoff.
Does it include Lukaku deal?
Oh, it absolutely includes Lukaku.
Then hell yeah!
There he is.
This transfer window the best in Chelsea season, and Paul Winstanley is the best signing for Chelsea. This is my verdict. Beat me to it.
Okay.
Nobody is for the takes.
Andrew.
There you go. 300 million. Paul Winstanley got in for the club. How much did Havertz get? How much did Mount get? Oh yeah, it's Paul's signing. There you go. We win the league.
So this is confirmed. This is my favorite Chelsea fan, one of my favorite people in the world, Jessica Frota from Brazil. Confirmed outgoings: Bakayoko, Kante, Koulibaly, Kovacic, Mendy, Havertz, RLC, Mount, Aspie, Baba Rahman, Pulisic, soon to be Aubameyang, Lukaku, Ziyech, maybe even fingers crossed, Trevor Chala butt cheeks. Lots of Ampadu, yes. So, oh wow. Let's go with Andrew. What do you think, man? When this season starts, how do you think you'll be feeling without,
I'm going to feel, as long as Caicedo's in, I'll feel pretty in terms of seeing how we play and stuff like that. I'll feel good. I think that's most of the Chelsea fan base. So if we get Caicedo in, I don't think really anyone really cares who else we get. Do you know what I mean? It's such a big, important player for us in the starting lineup. Yeah,
I mean, would you say D mid? Would you say D mid is the most important position in the sport?
It's one of them.
I actually think it might be the most. Yeah,
I think for us at the well, looking how we are, the club is thinking it's the most important. Yeah. And seeing as we basically strip mine the midfield, it has to be right because there are others in other positions. Even if, like myself, we don't rate them. There's nothing really in the midfield apart from Enzo, Gallagher, and the kids. Carney. Yeah,
Carney's good though. Carney's legitimately good.
I think he's going to go out on loan.
I don't agree with you.
I just think he's got just the options because I don't see Gallagher. I don't see Gallagher leaving unless some ridiculous offer comes in.
Neither do I.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm feeling optimistic. Get Caicedo in, and then it's like, okay, see who else. There's a bonus coming in. Because I say I don't think they're going to go for strike, but I feel confident. First game's against Liverpool, right? If I'm correct.
The reason I say that the most important position is D mid is because you thought that Calvin Phillips was even going to get a sniff this year, but it was Rodri every fucking game. Even when the midfield and front line, back line, and formation itself was being manipulated with. I mean, there were times where Pep was playing a 3-6-1, which is something I played my last year of college when I was captain. But yet the entire constant was Rodri, and he scored the goal in the UCL final. And he was the straw that stirred the drink. He was the Reggie Jackson. He was the Tom Brady. He was fucking everything to that team because every diagonal angle, it spawned from him. Every passing scenario and future scenario spawned from him. So that's why I feel like we get someone like Caicedo, and who's more mobile than Rodri, by the way, more mobile. I feel like this is just so important. And I think the rest will fall into place, and we'll get the rest of the positions that we will get because we've brought in enough money that'll give us some leeway. Okay, how about you, KJ? What do you think, buddy?
I will be satisfied if Michy Batshuayi is integrated into our squad. No, I'm kidding. I think what we've done so far is fine. I think we've gotten rid of the players we desperately needed to get rid of. Lukaku is just the last one on the list. But yeah, I think a DM is something we need a lot. Like I said, our midfield is non-existent. We currently don't have a proper spine to hold it down. That's what she said. But if we can hold down the DM, if we can get a proper striker, preferably someone that's more experienced, then I wouldn't say we had a bad window. I just think it might be a bit lackluster. But then at the end of the day, we expected this. We sold a lot. We were hoping to buy a lot in a bad position. So if anything, I think our expectations need to be lowered just a bit. But I mean, I really will be fine with just a DM and a striker.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, we'll go Matt, and then finally Jared, forcing him to stay longer than the 7 minutes. Matt, what do you got?
You know, Caicedo, I think Aubameyang stays. I don't think we get rid of Aubameyang. I don't think he leaves. I think he stays. I don't think he leaves.
Must be still asleep.
Because hang on, who would you get for the striker role? I don't want.
We just bought him.
Who? Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah.
So you think he
Jackson.
comes in tomorrow and scores and goals? I don't think so. I think he still needs someone there to rotate with him. And I would actually keep
Armando Broja.
I mean, Dusan Tadic is available.
I'm sorry, Broja. This guy. If this guy doesn't prove this season, I'll sell him next season. But this guy needs to fucking show up. He still needs to show up. I take into account his injury. When I see those injuries happen, I don't see a positive outcome always come out outside of that injury. So he's got this season, man. He needs to fucking show up. But I will keep Aubameyang. I will still keep Aubameyang because I want to go spend this big money on someone like VLAHOVIC. I think we need a Mwani. No, Jackson, good signing, but he still needs support. Caicedo's a done deal already. I think Caicedo's a Chelsea player anyway.
Yeah, we all do.
He's a Chelsea player. You know, Liverpool fans think they're going to come in and sweep him just like they swept Bellingham, just like they come and sweep Colwell, all this rubbish. He's a Chelsea player. He's here. This is a player we need. We need this player, man. Link it with Enzo. Unbelievable. None of this Rice shit. You know, Rice is never coming. This is fantastic.
I mean,
so
you remember when we signed N'Golo Kante? And by the way, I was never a fan of N'Golo Kante.
Hey, dude. What are we doing here?
Okay, Jared's got to go. Jared's got to go. What do you got, Jared? Last couple. What do you got?
I don't need to say anything else. I'm the big man on campus. I got peace.
He's got tenure.
Talk your shit.
I don't need to talk any more shit. We good. We don't need to start the show over again. What's going on here?
All right, fair enough. Final thoughts, Jared. No final thoughts?
I got no final thoughts. We're going to be fine. We're going to
top four. We're coming top four, by the way. We're coming top four. Don't worry. We're going to be top four.
You have no idea how hard this season is going to be. Okay.
All right, well, we'll see.
Yeah, hell of a way to end it was just a flaccid fucking donut. All right.
Hey, man.
We'll see.
You know,